So let's talk about how numerical expressions work. Numerical expressions use operators. For example, typically the plus sign for addition, the dash or the minus sign for subtraction, the asterisk for multiplication, and the slash for division. These are called binary operators. They operate on two operands. So for example, in the expression 5 plus 2, the plus is the operator, the 5 and the 2 are the two operands. So again, binary operators operate on two operands. Here's another example, 10 divided by 5, where the slash is the division operator and the 10 and the 5 are the two operands. Unary operators, on the other hand, operate on just one single operand. For example, negation, -4. We have the dash or the minus sign, that's the operator, and the 4 is the single operand. Usually when you have more than one operator, there's precedence that's given to some operators over others, which means that they would be evaluated first. So for example, in the expression 5 plus 4 times 2, which gets evaluated first? The addition, the 5 plus 4, or the multiplication, the 4 times 2? So the result is going to be different. If the addition takes precedence, if that gets evaluated first, then we're going to get 5 plus 4 or 9, and then 9 multiplied by 2 to give us 18. On the other hand, if the multiplication takes precedence, first we would do that. First we would do the 4 times 2, and then after doing 4 times 2 to get 8, we would add the 5 to get 13. So the result is going to be either 18 or 13, depending on which gets evaluated first. Some terminology here, the operator precedence rules are also sometimes called the operator hierarchy or the operator priority rules. Usually these rules are shown as a table where you have the operators with the highest priority on the top of the table and then the lowest priority on the bottom. Another thing to consider when evaluating expressions is what's called the associativity, which means does the expression get evaluated from left to right or from right to left, or does it depend on the operators? Parentheses can be used to force some operators to be evaluated first, regardless of the operator precedence rules. So for example, if multiplication takes precedence over subtraction, the expression 10 minus 4 times 2, if again the multiplication takes precedence and we didn't have the parentheses, then we do the 4 times 2 first. But by putting parentheses around the 10 minus 4, that forces the 10 minus 4 to happen first, so we get 10 minus 4 is 6, and then the 6 times 2 gives us 12. So the parentheses force the subtraction to take place first. Parentheses can also be used to make an expression more clear. So for example, even if multiplication already takes precedence, we might put parentheses around the 4 times 2 just to make sure it's obvious that that's what's going to happen first. So first we do the 4 times 2 to get 8, and then 10 minus 8 to give us 2. Nesting parentheses means putting one set of parentheses inside of another. So the ones on the outside are called the outer parentheses, and then inside of that we have the inner parentheses. So when you do that, the expression in the inner parentheses is always evaluated first. So for example, in this expression we have nested parentheses here. So first we do the inner parentheses, the 4 plus 1 to give us 5. And then we do the 8 minus 5 to give us 3, and then finally the 2 times 3 to give us 6. So again, regardless of the operator precedence rules, the parentheses force the addition to take place first, and then the subtraction, and then finally the multiplication. Be really careful about these operator precedence and associativity rules. Once you learn them for one language, do not assume that the rules are going to be the same for all languages, as that is just not true. So you really have to be careful and learn these rules for each language that you're learning.